A pro-Russian hacking group has claimed responsibility for a major cyber attack that halted package deliveries by France's national postal service, La Poste, in the days leading up to Christmas. The cybercrime group known as No Name 057 claimed responsibility for the attack on Wednesday in a case that has now been transferred to French intelligence services. The group has been accused of other cyber attacks across Europe, including one around a NATO summit in the Netherlands and sensitive French government sites. On Monday, central computer systems at La Poste abruptly shut off in what appeared to be a distributed denial of service, or DDoS attack. Postal workers couldn't track package deliveries, and online payments at the company's banking arm also suffered disruptions. Representatives of the Postal Service, who delivered over 2.6 billion packages last year and employ some 200,000 people, said the cyber attacks were not fully resolved by Wednesday morning.
The United States have imposed visa bans on former EU Commissioner Thierry Breton and 4 others, accusing them of forcing American social media platforms to censor users. US authorities described Breton as the mastermind of the DSA, the EU Digital Sphere rulebook. Breton responded to the visa ban on X by writing, "Is McCarthy's rich hand back?" The visa bans also targeted members of the German non-profit Hate Aid, the UK-based Global Disinformation Index, as well as the US-based Center for Countering Digital Hate. The DSA stipulates that major platforms must explain content moderation decisions and ensure researchers can carry out essential work, such as understanding how much children are exposed to dangerous content. The DSA has become a rallying point for US conservatives who see it as a weapon for censorship against right-wing voices, an accusation Brussels denies.
Poland is beginning construction of an anti-drone system on its border with Belarus. Talking to reporters, Polish Interior Minister Martin Kierwiński announced that this will be the first anti-drone cluster installed on an observation tower on the border. An anti-drone cluster is a group of integrated systems mounted together that can detect, track and neutralize hostile drones. This modern border barrier, equipped with cameras, night vision and a motion sensor system, ensures a 98% effectiveness rate, Kierwiński pointed out. It is called a cluster because several devices and antennas are co-located on a single tower and operate as a single defensive unit. Kierwiński, together with Prime Minister Donald Tusk, visited the border guard site in Bobrowniki.
Ponad 6 tysięcy ludzi wieczór wigilijny spędzi właśnie na granicy i będziemy o nich ciepło myśleć. I będziemy wszyscy pamiętać, że dzięki nim wszyscy pozostali mogą bezpiecznie te święta w swoich domach spędzić.
Minister Kierwiński stressed that the Lukashenko regime, supported by Moscow, is waging a hybrid war that includes illegal immigrants and drones against Poland and the European Union. Newly released Epstein files include emails from 2001 between Ghislaine Maxwell and someone signing as A from Balmoral. The sender, using an anonymous email, asks Maxwell rather if new inappropriate friends were found for him. The emails reference Balmoral's summer camp for the British royal family and the sender's recent departure from the Royal Navy. This is the 8th batch of over 11,000 files totaling 30,000 pages, the largest release by the US Justice Department since Friday. The files include court records, photos, emails, flight logs, videos, and grand jury materials from Epstein's cases and investigations into his death. The files also include claims that Donald Trump flew on Epstein's jet at least 8 times between 1993 and 1996, more than previously reported. The Justice Department says some documents contain untrue claims against Trump submitted before the 2020 election.
Four men were arrested following an opposition rally in the Albanian capital Tirana on Monday. Protesters had gathered at the office of Prime Minister Edi Rama to protest against his government, throwing Molotov cocktails at the building. One of their demands is the resignation of Deputy Prime Minister Belinda Baluku, who was charged by prosecutors for alleged corruption.
të gjitha forcat politike opozitare, ftoj çdo opozitar, ftoj çdo kuzimtar të bashkohet në këtë betejë. Në këtë betejë vendimtare për fatin e këtij kombi që po shuhet, që po shkretohet.
The opposition Democratic Party of Albania accused the governing Socialist Party of election fraud and the erosion of democracy in the country, issues they have been protesting for months.
Libya's military chief of staff died in a plane crash after takeoff from Ankara on Tuesday. General Mohammed Ali Ahmed al-Haddad was returning back to Libya from high-level defense talks in the Turkish capital, focused on strengthening the military cooperation between the two countries. According to Libyan officials, the plane, a Falcon 50 type business jet, experienced a technical malfunction. 4 other officers and 3 crew members were also on board. No one survived the crash. Shortly after taking off, the plane requested an emergency landing, notifying air traffic control of an electrical fault. Turkish air traffic controllers then lost contact with the plane while it was on its emergency landing descent. The wreckage of the plane was found near a village 70 kilometers south of Ankara. 4 prosecutors are investigating the crash, Turkey's justice minister said.
Can you tell me an interesting fact?
Did you know that honey never spoils?
We want to let people stay longer home without being pushed into care. It's because feel again safe home, because you have a body helping you with all kind of tasks, at the same time giving you the secureness that if you fall, there is somebody who is going to help you.
Syrians celebrate Christmas for the second time since the fall of Bashar al-Assad's regime on the 8th of December 2024. Areas of the Idlib province, which were recently under the control of Ayat Tahrir al-Sham, are witnessing public celebrations for the first time in years. In the capital Damascus, however, the mood is more somber. The collective silence observed in some districts is largely a tribute to the victims of a church bombing in late June 2025, which killed over 25 worshippers.
حلوة كثير بس قبل كان في زينة أكثر وأضواء أكثر وكانوا بيحطوا على أشجار زينة وإن شاء الله ميري كريسماس على الجميع.
هاجي الأسباب لأنه لسه ما تقدمنا لنصير على قبل 5 أيام بلشوا يحطوا الزينة يزينوا ويظبطوا. على بس إحنا عم ننزل أرجي العالم إنه بلش أعياد كريسماس.
Some streets have been closed to vehicular traffic, with the security forces maintaining a high profile.
كتير كان العيد كتير كان العيد منظم والعالم كتير اللي اجت من برا تعيد هون زيادة واللي جايين يشوفوا عائلاتهم والأمن كتير كان مزبط بباب توما وبباب شرقي، وهلأ جوقة الفرح عم تعمل حفلة أمسية كتير رائعة.
As the second year without the Assad regime comes to a close, Syria's Christians and their neighbors are proving that while the decorations may be more modest, the hope for a pluralistic future is brighter than it has been in half a century. For the past 2 years, as the war in Gaza dragged on, Christmas in Bethlehem has been a somber affair. This year, Christmas celebrations and visitors are slowly returning to the city, signaling hope about the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. Christmas and religious pilgrims have always been a prime economic engine for Bethlehem.
Bethlehem has been facing hardships since March of 2020 when COVID started, and ever since it's been up and down until October the 7th, the war in Gaza and the war on all of the West Bank.
For the families who struggled to keep business afloat during the war, the sight of tourists feels like a relief after years of uncertainty.
كان عندي حوالي 80 موظف. من أول الحرب قلصناهم وعوضناهم وقعدناهم في الدار وخلينا 4 أو 5 ثابتين.
In the meantime, the Latin Patriarch of Jerusalem paid a visit to the Holy Family Parish in Gaza. The Patriarchate statement said the visit marked the beginning of Christmas celebrations in a community that has lived and continues to live through dark and challenging times.